that an energy, an entity, spirits, whatever, attach to our soft spots, our weak spots, the things that we are extra sensitive to. And so if we choose to try to protect ourselves by not having any sensitivities or weak spots, then you unbecome. You get what I'm trying to say? So when we learn to face our own inner demons, our own fears, hurt, anger, joy, love, when we connect with all of those parts of ourselves, it's not so much about hardening and guarding as it is just identifying what belongs and what doesn't. When you treat yourself with the forgiveness and grace that you would want to receive externally, regardless if you are receiving that or not, the way that you move forward gently that's how you become immune. Because no matter if it's true, if it's not true, no matter if there's spiritual attacks on you or not, whether if the coincidences are just coincidences or not, that energy that is trying to attach to you cannot. Because it's not always about speed. It's not always about strength. It's about technique. And so if you know when to maintain and contain your energy, and you know when to punch it, when to strike, you're able to hit those strikes full force when it really counts. To be protected is to know that you are never truly fully protected. That one cannot fully, completely protect. That it has to be multiple pieces, multiple people, tied together with the same energy. Committed to protecting themselves so that they can no longer become a vessel for what they no longer want to serve. Because I really want to be talking about my scary stories and my scary experiences, but if it's just gonna freak everybody else out that could invite any residual energy in. And so let's teach them how to protect themselves. Let's show them that they're safe. Let's not lie to them. And then when they're fully armored up, when they know what kind of weapon they would like to yield, then it's time for the scary stories. I hate finger guns. I'm never doing that again. I'm never doing that again. Hey, I'm never doing finger guns again. It's fucking hilarious. Ay, ay, ay. So something that I have noticed is if you just start telling people about the spooky side of things and the scary dark entities that are out there, the dangers to it all, if you make that their main focus, that fear of, oh my gosh, I can attract these things, really attracts them. So my usual approach is to teach them how to protect themselves, that they are safe within themselves, how people interact with people, and then we ease our way into how spirits and different energies can manipulate people in different realms. Your physical space is protected, your body, your safe space, your home, there's still an entry point into the dream realm where if something may not enter a certain space, it can still interact with you in that dream state. If your dream state is heavily protected, but your physical state is not, and there are advantages and disadvantages to both. And you can always turn a poison sent your way into a medicine. For example, if a brick falls on your toe and almost cuts it off, just grand slam on that toe. If you were told, oh, what you was doing then, oh, karma, like, okay. If it is a spiritual attack, it's not really gonna do anything but freak the person out because, well, clearly something has passed through the veil and now you're getting physically hurt. And so just straight up saying it like that is, I don't think help. But that's just my personal opinion. And you don't want to lie and be like, oh, there's totally no possibility of that. Like, that's totally not possible. Like, it's totally okay. Like, don't, oh my God, like, don't let yourself, like, ignoring that there is a possibility then would become your weak spot. It would become the crack that they could get through too. So this one's kind of weird for me because I just want to talk about my scary stories and like laugh. But I have a feeling I have to do this talk first, which makes sense. And this card also flew out, and it represents Auric protection and Banisher of Darkness and stuff, and that's literally what we're talking about. If a vessel of energy is piercing the veil to communicate or interact with you, that means that any energy, any spirit in that realm could access you through the same point. And so the only way to protect yourself from that is to have the filters, which would be your intuition, discernment, and just learning to be fluid with yourself, to put the energy where it needs to be, to patch a hole if there's any holes, unlike the county and the roads. Before I knew how to truly protect and interact with all different energies that are sent my way, it was trial and error. And here are some things that I learned. So growing up, I was taught, like, if something's interacting with you, you don't try to interact with it. Do not use the Ouija board. Like, don't think about those things. Don't talk about them. Like, just nothing. With being taught, don't think about them, don't talk about them, don't this, don't that, none of it's real also, by the way, at the same time. It's like, it was very... And none of that stopped the interactions. So around like 4 or 5, I think, is when I began interacting with spirits through the dream realm. Took place like around my house. So I began having these dreams where there would be like a whole army of skeletons coming down my driveway. And what I would have to do is I would have to freeze up. I would have to freeze up like by that wall, jump over by that tree, and then there would be like more trees, and then I would have to just like stay still and hide behind them. Now, at 4 or 5 years old, I did not know what night marchers were. And it wasn't until maybe I was about 16 or 17 when I had conversation with some family members about their abilities that I was like, oh shit, like I've been having dreams and premonitions and like interactions like my whole life. It was crazy. In that moment, I realized that there was no way at that young that I could have just made that up. And so that to me was like a really core moment. And just the fact that I can remember these things too is like beats me. But and then you think about what night marchers are, how there's a reservoir right there next to my house, like, and that is the path that they would follow. And so I think that from a very young age, that was their way of teaching me respect. And it's not that I had done anything wrong. I was definitely afraid to walk my driveway alone. Like, I'd always just feel like this super intense energy every time I would have to walk the driveway alone. And there was nothing I could do but be like, well, I'm afraid, but I gotta make it up the hill. Like, so. And I remember those dreams were like super repetitive too. Like, it wasn't just once. And so IRL, you're supposed to like get naked and bow. Do not look. If you hear the drums, like, just, I know some people who've experienced them go through their house, and the beat of those drums are just, it's just something else. It's just something else. It's an otherworldly experience. They never hurt me, they never got me. They were always just like, I don't know, it was kind of cool too though, because in the times that I wasn't like all froze up, all scared, they would let me like get a closer look, like really see each and every one of them. They're all just skeletons. Some of them had like gear on, like literal, like regular, like not ancient traditional Hawaiian gear, but like I don't know, maybe Pearl Harbor era. I don't know. Okay, I don't know if that's even important, but they would wear different things in different times. And the fact even that they would let me like get so close and look like was just so interesting, so interesting. And I'm so grateful that they didn't murk my ass. Around this time, I had this teddy bear, and this teddy bear was tie-dye colored, kind of like pink and blue, like kind of cotton candy colored. And I loved that teddy bear so much. It would go everywhere with me. And then one day I started having nightmares that my teddy bear was gonna try and kill me. Like, like it's weird because like I can see it so vividly. And I just, the time in my room, my bed was right up next to the window that would be open at night so the air could come in. Don't do that. Don't do that, okay? Don't do that. Don't do that. Don't put your bed right next to the open window. Don't do that. Don't do that. I don't do that. I don't do that. Um, because there's another story that we're gonna get into, and you're gonna be like, oh. Okay. So in the dream, I wake up, where's my teddy bear? And then it's like a horror movie, kind of like the bear's just walking around the house. And it wasn't even, the bear didn't say anything, the bear didn't do anything. I don't think it was some like Chucky shit. Like, I don't, but the energy, like the vibe of it was like, there's something wrong with my fucking teddy bear. And that dream was recurring for a while, and I really tried to contemplate on it. Like, as a kid, I was like, what does this mean? Because my parents were like, that's just a nightmare, it's just this, it's just that. But something was very disturbing about it. And so eventually I got rid of the bear, and the dream stopped. And that is not the first time that that has happened to me. Well, the doll itself taking on a life force and coming after me and watching me. Not that specifically, but nightmares, negative energies, and stuff attached to a thingy. Yeah. The bed next to the window. One time, I had a dream that I was in a parking lot or something, and I remember there being like this USPS like mail drop, and next to it was like a manhole cover, like to like the sewage or whatever, the undergrounds. And whoever I was with took off the lid. We went down and explored a little bit. And we had to come back up in a hurry. I was with really wanted to like open the manhole cover because there was like screaming and like other stuff going on in there. And I was like, I don't think that that's a good idea. I don't think we should touch that. I think we need to leave that closed. And so anyway, the manhole cover gets taken off. There's fire down there. There's skeletons down there. And I guess I tried to cover the hole with my body, and I think the plan was to shove the mail thing over the manhole so that they couldn't escape. But what happened was that everybody dipped, and I was left over the manhole with the fire and the skeletons, and one real mad one I remember was grabbing the back of my shirt and like trying to yank me down into the hole. And so I woke up to the feeling of like something literally pulling at me, like at my back. Clothing wise, energetic wise, maybe both. And my back was facing towards the window. So after that, I made my parents move my bed so that it wasn't next to the window anymore. Because that shit was a little bit too fucking real for me, okay? It took me so long to not like be super afraid of that ever happening again. I've had different things happen that were just as scary, if not more scary, but I was older and had more preparation and stuff, so, you know, balance, chill, it's whatever. What is so interesting to me right now is that even in this moment, I can discern the nightmares that were truly like little kid nightmares, like, oh, I watched what was it, Stephen King's Creep Show, the one with the glob in the lake. As a child, that had me fucked up, which is crazy because other weird stuff were happening to me. So maybe that's why also, because I was like, it's not real, but it's, but. But like those dreams, I can separate from the ones that were actual spiritual experiences. So when people talk to me and they doubt themselves, I'll always ask more questions, because if I can tell the difference between a dream that is a communication, a dream that is an interaction, versus a dream of subconscious and release and storytelling, then so can you. I have found a connection that proves the dreams that I believe to be spiritual guidance, even as a child, is. Once my sister and I re-established our ability to connect in the dream world, we were able to unlock memories that further proved the connection, and that it had existed way before we even knew that it did. The fact that she remembered a dream that made me remember a dream, and the more that she described it, the more I was able to be like, hold up, this took place in the same space, in the same realm, was confirmation that we were being protected by someone. The symbolism for that is a bush. A bush. The bush. There was a bush. We hid behind it, in it. Whoever, whatever was trying to get to us was unable to get to us. which is really coincidental due to other types of information, memories, energies that are coming up and out.